My name is Matthew Noreen. My wife is Andrea Noreen. We have 2 children, Brantley, who just turned 3 a couple weeks ago, and Kinsley, who is 8 months old. Both kids were born here at Centralia Providence Hospital. We came in for, basically they were going to induce my wife, is what they were going to do. On September 16th, they were going to induce her. We came in and we were basically just waiting for my wife to start the labor process.
And I got back in bed so the nurse could check to kind of see if we were making any progress, and all of a sudden she had me flip over on my hands and knees. She put an oxygen mask on me. I wasn't really sure what was going on at the time.
Within seconds, the room was flooded with nurses, and Dr. Scalisi came running in.
What had happened is they had lost his heartbeat because my placenta tore.
Next thing I know, my wife's wheeled off into the C-section room for an emergency C-section, and he was born perfectly healthy, and everything went great after that, but it was a very tense situation for a little while.
Well, I think a lot of us have worked together for so long that we know each other's movements before we have to do it, because we are with the same people all the time. So when an emergency happens, it's fluid, it's, not a lot of speaking.
It's actually incredible to watch how well our team works and how often I've heard from patients, and it's so humbling to hear that that was really scary, but I didn't know anything was going on. Like, I did not know anything was wrong because of how calm and collected we were and how well everybody works together.
Being there with them, you trust them and you know that they're doing everything they possibly can.
I know that it was stressful for them, not only throughout the entire pregnancy, but then I know the delivery was under emergent circumstances, and I feel confident and comfortable knowing that they were ecstatic to come back for their second delivery.
For the second birth, it was a normal pregnancy for my wife. We were just so thankful because we knew how the first one went.
When I woke up in the morning, that's when they really started kicking in, and they weren't letting up at all. My husband had went to work, so I called him and I said, I think it's time.
I believe it was like about 37 weeks. My wife started having contractions, so she decided to come in and get checked out.
The baby was in stress from the constant contractions, and so they decided I was going to have a C-section the next morning.
Baby came out crying. We thought everything was perfectly fine.
With my son, they placed him right on my chest. With my daughter, they didn't, and at the time I didn't think much of it. I saw her, she came out, she was crying, we were happy.
Not being a medical professional, we didn't realize that she wasn't breathing correctly.
They laid her on my chest for maybe 2 minutes, and they said they needed to take her down to the nursery, see if she had swallowed some fluid, and they would be right back.
He at one point called another doctor down at Legacy Emmanuel for some recommendations, and after about midnight, we just decided that the baby could no longer stay at the hospital because she needed to be transported out.
With this particular and other situations, we were able to stabilize, just like we can with a lot of our patients, and know that what this patient's demands are higher than what our facility can provide long term.
The staff at Providence Centralia are absolutely wonderful. There is no place I would rather be than right here. They just make us feel at home. They let you know everything is going to be okay. It feels like family here. We love it.
But I feel confident in the care that we give and my colleagues give, and that our patients receive, because I know it's the excellent and utmost care that we can all provide.
Well, I think it's important to have what we need here in our local community so that we don't have to go elsewhere, and to be confident that the doctors have what they need if there is an emergency, because like with my pregnancy, everything's going along fine, and then all of a sudden everything changes and you need that close.
And a lot of times in our community, these patients don't get the best. And if their birth experience is the best because they chose us, then that's one best thing that they'll always remember.